Good afternoon. She is here. We are together. Minds together. Your friend is not in a deep sleep, but is in an open state of willingness to relinquish at least some control. Beautiful, dear friends, I have to confess, I had to do a very quick scan to understand the groundhogging day. And as I do, I find this fascinating that the stuck in the rut syndrome has a moving picture all about it. I'm certain there must be others as well. The brain becomes trained to follow a pattern of awakening, making one's tea, reading one's newspaper, and going to work, coming home, having a meal, beginning all over again. These are patterns. Let us discuss and review our patterns. Some patterns are helpful as they allow you to continue to function upon this realm. They allow you to acquire coin in order to be able to live in the existence. Some functions and patterns allow you to travel. They allow you to communicate. When we fall into only coordinating our footsteps along our patterns, that is when we cease to learn in many cases. It is in the learning and growing and escaping our daily pattern, not every day, but in many aspects, that we are pushed outside of the area in which we find comfort by following our life as though by rote. Have you ever said a prayer that you have said hundreds of thousands of times, and midway through you have lost the next line, and then you start over with that prayer that you have said hundreds of times, thousands of times before, and you finish the prayer and feel no different? It is living by rote. The challenge to break the pattern is to be in service to your soul, alas, and service to others. These two must be combined. If you are only in service to your own soul, you are missing half of the pie. If you are only in service to others, you are not eating any of the delicious pie on earth, because you have neglected your own soul, your own growth, your own repattern. Everything then turns on the screw of balance. The balance is the key. Continuing a pattern by rote is imbalanced. Now, this may come as a surprise. It may be consternation to you. Why, if I do the same things every day, why would you call me unbalanced? And it is because you are not here to do the same things every day. You are here to learn, grow, and be in service to self and to others that means setting aside some hour each day, or perhaps every other day, for learning, for curiosity, for, as my friend says, communing in some way with that which brings you out of the pattern. Cultivate your curiosity so that in future times you are uncomfortable with your footsteps because they are unfamiliar to you. And in this way, you will find that the next time you pray, for example, they are your own words. They may be simple words. This does not mean you must throw out all that is by rote. The allegiance to the country, the prayer that you say that is from the fathers of your religion, these have their place in being repeated, as so very much energy has been vested here. Going to the same job, doing and saying the same things, and never having curiosity, change, research, discomfort, uncomfortableness is the real purgatory. You are finding now a change in work structures, work habits, and we here from our dimension have been wondering for a very long time when this would come, where you are not chained to a particular chair or a particular typewriter, but you are able to move about and you are able to create a different kind of dynamic. You are not also giving yourself the benefit of the credit for what you have experienced and integrated. We've spoken often about this is the season of the integration of the learning. No one is ascending now at this time on earth. Virtually no one is ascending now at this time without physical death. We all ascend when we leave the physical body behind. It is not time yet. You must do the work of breaking the patterns. Now we come to different kinds of patterns. What about the patterns of harm and foul treatment of animals and people? These are patterns to be broken as well. Step outside of what you know and be curious about what you do not know. Cultivate conversation, cultivate exploration, and that will shift everything for you. Know that often we are envious of your boring old lives here because it is fascinating to have such a diversity of experiences. And in some ways we live through you. Not that I wish to trade places with any of you. I simply want you to acknowledge how very dear and special your lives are. Thank you.